अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीबॉडी। आज आप लोगों को एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग और एक सक्सेसफुल पाकिस्तानी से मिलवाने के लिए यहाँ पर लेके आए हैं। पाकिस्तान में भी एक सक्सेसफुल कैरियर उन्होंने अचीव किया, लेकिन उसके बाद उन्होंने डिसाइड किया कनाडा मूव होने के लिए। मुझे उनकी स्टोरी बहुत इंस्पायरिंग लगी। तो चलें मिलते हैं तैयब शाह साहब से।
Thank you very much, Usman. Seems like a interesting session. So my story is actually starts when I completed my master's from Pakistan, MS Space Sciences. I started working in a field of GIS and remote sensing, and I have spent time on a short consultancies in different organizations. So after spending almost 10 years, I decided to move in my family to Canada. So in Canada in 2008, I decided to settle down in Toronto area. But I got a job right away in Calgary, so I started my first job in oil sand consulting firm as a GIS analyst. So that's my start of my Canadian experience. So almost 1 year after my job, I got a scholarship to do my PhD. That's one of the reasons I moved to the Saskatchewan. So I started my PhD in 2009, and then it took me slightly over than 4 years to complete it. Then I moved to the research. So I'm now working as a Geospatial research manager at one of a research consulting unit at the University of Saskatchewan. So we have a small group within the university, and we are providing research services, and my portfolio is related to geospatial research services. So in Pakistan, I have very diverse experience. So we, with a small group of friends, we were running a consultancy firm. We worked with different UN organizations like UNICEF, and have a couple months with the UNDP, and then with the European Union as well. So UNICEF, I worked with the Education Academy in Islamabad. Then I worked in the Planning Commission to develop social sector atlases like health and education, where we mark all those locations for school locations and healthcare facilities across Pakistan, and then publish in a district and tehsil level maps showing those locations, and that was a very big activity. With the JICA, my combination with the JICA and the Punjab government, where I worked with the non-formal basic education of the school children. So that was the way I have worked over there. And besides, then I have worked small project, gold exploration in northern area, water map, arsenic contents mapping, and then I was teaching on the same side. So working with the United Nations, services the government, and then I'm doing the capacity building and the training as well. So I was running GIS trainings and teaching GIS courses in Fatima Jinnah Women University, and supervising the research students across different universities, including Fatima Jinnah, Punjab University, GIK, and NAST. So most of the students I supervised was from Fatima Jinnah Women University, where I was teaching in 2001. I have, I think, supervised more than 12 students in the MS Environmental Sciences projects. And then I have I think number of students from Punjab University, a group of 5 students, sociology department, and then the number of students from the space science department, where I worked together.
After having such a successful career in Pakistan, usually people say that it's not advisable that you leave your career behind and you start your academic life from afresh. Could you talk a little bit about the decision of pursuing a PhD degree and after that a postdoc? What sort of financial challenges or the factors that you thought about, and did you face any sort of financial or intellectual challenges when you were going through the PhD and the postdoc programs?
So, yeah, it's a very interesting transition when coming here in Canada and starting almost a new life from the scratch. So, but the reason I was like very calm and I got a very good support from my family was I have mentally prepared for this kind of situation. And then I have a motive as well. So one of the reasons which I want to be moving this country is basically to learn from this environment why they're successful. So as I earlier mentioned, I have a diverse experience. I work with the federal government, provincial government, district governments, and United Nations and international NGOs, with the universities. So I have diverse experience. So one of the questions which I was always wondering, what we are missing in back home, why we are not making a progress. We have good mind, we have good peaceful population, and good intelligent people individually, but the ideas are not working. So what we are missing? So I was thinking okay, I have explored within the country, and I couldn't find any satisfactory response or some way out to channelize my thinking on that direction. So what I did, I said, okay, let's try to go out and figure out. So this is one of the motive I still carry with me to figure out what's missing and how we need to be strategized to make our country, Pakistan, in the right direction. So when I moved here, so luckily I got the right in my discipline. So and then jump into the education, and then education here is if you are well planned, prepared for that. So they usually cover your basic needs, financial needs. So they have a full scholarship, and then if you are a good researcher or you have a good sellable skills, so which different research is required, so then they can hire you on top of your scholarship. So this is the way I have spent four or 5 years my PhD and onward in the postdoc, where I worked with having a scholarship, and plus I was working with different researchers on their research project and capacity building to the students on different areas. So I feel like my skills, which I polished over the years back home, is what really useful here, because they need some kind of things which I can. So financially, if you are not what is called is have over ambitions or over demand, otherwise it's if you hold yourself and contain your desires, so it means that you can have a sufficient resources while you're living here. So I would suggest, if somebody wants to move here, so they need to see what's the sellable skills they have. So they need to look around in the industry, whatever the industry they are, and what the really people are looking. So look the job advertisement carefully, and there will be a bullet line with they will specify certain kind of software skills or technical skills or some management skills. So those skills, if you have by chance and you think you have some edge, so that is the way you can really connect, and then you can easily survive in this industry.
Can we talk about a little bit about your contribution after your transitioning back to your career? How much have you contributed to the existing system? How many projects, how many ministries, what are the type of stakeholders that you work with, and how that has helped you contribute back home? I know you're connected with lots of students back home. So two-part.
Okay, so here I have a little bit of experience in private sector, but with my first job with the oil consulting firm. And then most of the time I stay within the university, the academic environment. So I PhD and a postdoc, and now I'm doing the job in the University of Saskatchewan. So most of the part of my career in life is, you can say, linked with the University of Saskatchewan in Saskatchewan. And beside that, I have worked with a Crown agency, water security agency. I spent a few months over there, and it was a good experience, but I want to go for the research, so I choose this position to be here. And in between that, I have a couple of years experience in Western Ontario University in London, Ontario. So we did some research work as a part of my postdoc studies. And then I have 1 year experience in teaching in the University of South Pacific in Fiji Islands. It was a good experience. I was assigned a few undergrad geospatial courses, and I have to be supervise the student in their research project as well. So it was a very interesting experience working there in Fiji Island. So I'm trying to see how this could make sense back home, how we can translate, and how this can be useful in a different kind of things. So I learned a couple of very interesting things here, which I experiment with the students back home. So I was helping students in the research work, and sometimes universities want me to be officially supervise them. So my last assignment was with IST Islamabad, and they gave me 3 students in the 2 groups, and they want to be complete their undergrad final year project. So we completed 2 projects, and now those students are they completed 3 months ago, and now they're in the market, and they have very good position in demand because of the kind of skill they learn, and they're very much in the market. We need a kind of agenda which change the human behavior. So this is the problem, is what we are doing it is not actually encouraging the people to try to act more responsible, a responsible citizen. So but for example, what I figure out, or what I'm trying to be further explore it, is what we really need to do is basically to introduce a education system. Everybody knows we need to be we need an education system. Our system is not working fine, but what exactly in the education system we required. So what my understanding is, if we have a unified one system up to the grade 12, just like all the developed countries on this earth, whatever the country name you have, they will have a single approach to educate the children.
The department that you work for example, if somebody wants to have a services from Pakistan or any other country, can they reach out to you? What sort of services does Chaser provide?
So we call this Chaser, and we are providing 8 or 9 different thematic areas: social surveys, mixed surveys, and qualitative research, quantitative research, computational, artificial intelligence. So we have a number of research areas, and each area is headed by a person who has experience in that specific area. So what we are providing a services like at the university levels. Most of the clients are from the University of Saskatchewan and the people associated with the university. But we do have large number of clients, and growing number of clients, service recipients. Those are from outside the University of Saskatchewan. Those are within the Canada and different provinces, and then we are going outside Canada as well. We have a couple of projects in Europe. I did one work with Saudi Arabia. It's a small project, but it's an activity, and now we are working with some organizations, international NGOs, more like located in the US, but we are providing the research. So my point is, our platform is for the research, and those research services, we as a manager, we finalize the project terms, and then we hire the research assistants, and our top priority is to engage the existing students, current student from the University of Saskatchewan, and then some recently graduates or somebody who are in our contact. It could be. So right now I'm trying to figure out how we can hire non-Canadians residing outside Canada so they can work with us. That is the thing which I'm exploring it right now. I know there is a way, but I'm just trying to figure out. So it means I can engage the people outside Canada so they can work with us and having theirs according to their skill.
Lovely. Before we conclude, I would like to bring our discussion back to some of the challenges that you may want to mention for the people who are planning to come to Canada as a student, as a PR, or other purposes.
Yeah, so first thing is hold your desires. That's the first thing. It's not to make money like the time when we see that the Baichalo or Japanese people. It's not that kind of.
Yes.
So you're not here. As a religious, we know everybody has their faith. So wherever you go, it doesn't matter. So you will get whatever your faith is. So it means you need to understand changing a location is not like you will get the huge difference. It's only the difference is the living style. You will be coming in a different and slow pace. Comparatively, things are moving in a slow and well-organized pace. It's not like we bring the doctors at home and grab them, but no, you have to wait. In even emergency, you have to wait a couple of hours, and they will be giving you the services according to your requirement. If life-threatening services, they will right away. But if you going to be the primary health care need to the emergency room, they will ask you to wait for 3 or 4 or 5 hours till they have some doctor free for those kind of services. So depending on the system. So same thing in education as well. So their education system is well organized, so you don't need to worry about the children, how they will be managing in the education. It's different from Pakistan. It's not like in early classes, they don't have much homework, but they do the activities. So they're mostly, which I understand, is developing their comprehension. They want to be students observe the things and should be able to describe it. So that's why they have more active learning techniques where they are. So it's not like when kids are coming home and you think they are busy and doing like number of pages and pages of exercise. No. So this is a change you can expect. So financially, there are different systems going on here. So if you are a student on work visa, that is a little bit different scenario. And if you are as a landed immigrant or citizen, so then you have a different privileges, which is makes you different kind of thing. But they have financial support if you worked minimum hours, and then you can get some employment insurance for up to 6 months to 1 year, and depending on different situations. So they have a different mechanism where you will be supporting you. They can support you the supplements in terms of housing supplements to meet your requirement if you have a gap, those kind of things. So there are different financial systems, but it depending on your status where you are when you are entering into the Canada.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Shahzam. Any final thoughts?
No, thank you very much. Hope you will get a good feedback.
Absolutely. I think viewers would also love it. And if I get any questions, or maybe I'll share your contact information below this video so that people can reach out, and if they have questions, you can maybe respond directly. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hopefully, आपको तैयब शाह साहब की story पसंद आई होगी. Inshallah, I'll keep coming back with the similar stories in the future. Until next time, Allah Hafiz.